Welcome back to the channel Valuable Coins HD. Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of rare coins, and we've got a special treat for you. If you're into coin hunting, especially for those hidden gems that could be worth a fortune, then you'll want to stay tuned for this one. We're talking about the 1950 Lincoln Wheat Penny, a coin that's not only packed with history but can also hold a significant amount of value, especially when you know what to look for. Now, you might be thinking, a penny from 1950? It's just a common coin, right? Well, think again. The Lincoln Wheat Penny from 1950, though it might seem like a simple piece of currency at first glance, holds a surprising level of rarity and potential worth that could astonish even seasoned collectors. So, let's break down why this coin could be hiding a treasure within your pocket change. Let's start with a bit of history. The Lincoln Wheat Penny was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It features the portrait of Lincoln on the obverse, which is widely regarded as one of the most recognizable coin designs in American history. On the reverse side, you'll find two wheat ears, which is where the coin gets its nickname, Wheat Penny. This design remained in circulation until 1958, and the 1950 issue is particularly notable for a few reasons. The first thing to know is that the 1950 Lincoln Wheat Penny was produced in large numbers, but it wasn't immune to the effects of wear and tear. Just like many coins of the era, most 1950 pennies were used in day-to-day transactions. They were dropped, exchanged, and eventually forgotten about in change jars or old wallets. That means that, over time, most of these coins were heavily circulated and, in some cases, even damaged. So, finding one in pristine or near-mint condition is quite rare and can significantly raise its value, but let's not stop there. The real excitement around the 1950 Lincoln Wheat Penny comes from the fact that certain versions of this coin are even rarer and more valuable than others due to minting errors. Minting errors can happen during the production process, when the dies used to stamp the coin aren't perfectly aligned or when other imperfections occur. These errors make the coin unique, and collectors absolutely love them because they add an element of surprise and rarity to their collections. One of the most famous errors found in the 1950 Lincoln Wheat Penny is the D/D mintmark error. This happens when the D mintmark, which indicates that the coin was minted in Denver, was punched onto the die more than once, resulting in a doubled or slightly misaligned mintmark. If you're lucky enough to find a 1950 penny with this error, you could be holding onto something quite valuable. This particular error makes the coin much more sought after by collectors, who will pay a premium for it. Another possible error to look out for is the repunched mintmark, which occurs when the mintmark is struck multiple times in slightly different positions. This creates a blurry or double mintmark, which collectors view as a rare anomaly. If you find a 1950 Lincoln Wheat Penny with one of these errors, it could skyrocket in value, especially if the condition of the coin is well-preserved. So, now you're probably wondering, how much can a 1950 Lincoln Wheat Penny be worth? The answer is, it depends on the condition of the coin, as well as any unique errors it may have. In general, a well-preserved 1950 penny can be worth anywhere from a few dollars to a couple of hundred, but a coin that is in pristine, uncirculated condition, or one with a minting error, can be worth a whole lot more. But here's the kicker: the true value of this coin, especially if it has a rare error or is in amazing condition, can reach as high as $58,500. Yes, you heard that correctly, $58,500 for a single penny. Imagine finding one of these beauties tucked away in an old coin jar or passed down through generations. That small coin could be worth an incredible sum of money. So, how do you go about identifying if your 1950 Lincoln Wheat Penny is valuable? First, give it a close inspection. Check the mintmark to see if it's a D/D error or has a repunched mintmark. Examine the condition of the coin. If it looks like it's never been in circulation, it might just be worth a lot more than you think. If you have any doubts, consider getting it graded by a professional. A certified grade can really help unlock the full potential value of the coin. To all the collectors out there, this is a reminder that the world of coin collecting is full of hidden treasures, and the 1950 Lincoln Wheat Penny is definitely one of those that you'll want to keep your eyes peeled for. So, next time you come across one, don't just toss it aside. Take a moment to really look at it. You could be holding onto something far more valuable than just a simple penny. Today, we're diving into a truly fascinating piece of American numismatic history, the 1945 Lincoln Wheat Penny. This little coin may seem simple at first glance, but when you take a deeper look, you'll realize it's anything but ordinary. For collectors, this penny could be worth far more than its face value, especially if you're lucky enough to have a rare or rare version. So, if you're ready to uncover some hidden treasure, stick around, because this is one piece of coinage that's definitely worth your attention. The Lincoln Wheat Penny, first introduced in 1909, has long been a beloved coin among collectors, and the 1945 edition is no exception. But what makes this specific year so interesting? Well, the 1945 Lincoln Wheat Penny was minted right after the conclusion of World War II, during a time when the U.S. economy was recovering, and the country was transitioning back into peacetime production. The penny's design, which features Abraham Lincoln's portrait on the obverse and two stalks of wheat on the reverse, has always symbolized America's strength, unity, and industriousness, qualities that were especially important during such a pivotal period in history. Now, while the 1945 Lincoln Wheat Penny might have been produced in large quantities, what truly makes it interesting for collectors are the factors of rarity and condition. You see, the key to understanding the value of a coin lies not just in how many were made, but in how many have survived in exceptional condition. Most of the 1945 pennies that were minted saw a lot of action. They were spent in daily transactions, circulated through countless hands, and subjected to wear and tear. As a result, finding a 1945 penny in uncirculated condition is a rare occurrence. And even more rare, finding one with unique features or minting errors. Speaking of errors, let's talk about why these can make your 1945 Lincoln Wheat Penny worth a small fortune. You see, minting errors happen when something goes wrong during the production process, whether it's a misalignment, a flaw in the die, or a mistake with the materials. These errors can result in coins with unique features that set them apart from the rest, and that's what makes them so valuable to collectors. One error to keep an eye out for is the double die variety. This occurs when the die used to strike the coin makes multiple impressions, causing some of the details to appear doubled. A 1945 penny with a double die error is a big deal because these coins are very rare, and they can fetch a much higher price than their standard counterparts. If you happen to find a 1945 Lincoln Wheat Penny with a double die error, you could have a true treasure on your hands. Another error that could significantly increase the value of your coin is the repunched mint mark. A repunched mint mark occurs when the mint mark, such as the D for Denver, is stamped more than once, either slightly misaligned or doubled. This is a subtle yet exciting error for collectors to spot. While these repunched mint marks are often small, they make the coin a unique find, and a 1945 penny with this error can be worth a significant amount more than a regular, unblemished coin. Of course, there are other errors that collectors love to find, such as off-center strikes or die cracks. These errors, although less common, are also highly coveted among numismatists. The more dramatic the error, the higher the potential value of the coin. For example, if your 1945 penny has a large portion of the design missing due to an off-center strike, it could be a real standout piece in any collection. So, how much is this little coin worth? If you happen to have a 1945 Lincoln Wheat Penny that's in pristine, uncirculated condition, or even better, if it has one of these rare minting errors, you might be sitting on a small fortune. A 1945 Lincoln Wheat Penny with the right characteristics, like a double die or a repunched mint mark, can be worth as much as $63,000. Yes, you heard that right, $63,000 for a single penny. Now, you might be thinking, I've got a bunch of these pennies in my collection, but how can I tell if mine is worth that much? The key is to carefully examine the condition of your coin and look for any of those rare minting errors we just talked about. If you find something special, it's time to take it to a professional appraiser or coin dealer who can give you an accurate valuation. With a little luck and a keen eye, you might be holding onto something worth a lot more than you imagine. To sum it up, the 1945 Lincoln Wheat Penny is more than just a piece of change, it's a coin with a rich history and the potential for great value. Whether you're a seasoned collector or someone just getting started, this penny is definitely worth keeping an eye out for. So, the next time you stumble upon a 1945 Lincoln wheat penny, take a closer look. You never know, you might just find a hidden gem worth $63,000. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on another exciting coin discovery. Happy hunting, and may your coin collection continue to grow with rare treasures like this one. Today, we've got something that's sure to get your heart racing, especially if you're a dedicated collector or a coin hunter looking for that hidden treasure. We're diving into the fascinating world of the 1953 Lincoln wheat penny, a coin that, on the surface, might look like just another penny, but trust me, there's a lot more to it than meets the eye. So, if you've ever wondered if that old penny in your collection or change jar could be worth a small fortune, this video is for you. Now, you might be asking, what's so special about a 1953 Lincoln wheat penny? Well, this penny isn't just any old piece of copper. It comes from a very specific moment in U.S. history and coinage. The Lincoln wheat penny was first introduced back in 1909, and it became one of the most iconic coins ever minted in the United States. The design, which features the profile of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and two wheat stalks on the reverse, was produced for nearly half a century before transitioning to the Lincoln Memorial design in 1959. That's right, the 1953 penny is part of the last generation of the wheat design, which makes it significant for collectors. While the 1953 Lincoln wheat penny might not be the rarest coin from the 1950s, there are a few key factors that could make it worth far more than its face value. First and foremost, it's the condition of the coin that plays a huge role in determining its value. Most of the 1953 pennies that were minted were circulated, spent, traded, and tossed around in pockets. Over the years, most of them have suffered damage, scratches, and other signs of wear. So, finding a 1953 penny in excellent or uncirculated condition is already a rare occurrence, but here's the thing, condition is just the start of the story. What really sets certain 1953 pennies apart are the minting errors. These errors are the holy grail for coin collectors because they make a coin unique. Minting errors happen when the machinery at the mint malfunctions or when there's a misalignment during the coin striking process. These errors can dramatically increase the value of a coin. So, let's take a look at some of the minting errors that can turn a seemingly ordinary 1953 penny into a rare and valuable piece of currency. One of the most exciting errors to look out for in the 1953 Lincoln wheat penny is the repunched mint mark error. This occurs when the mint mark, the D for Denver, in this case, is struck more than once, creating a blurry or doubled mint mark. If you find a 1953 penny with a doubled or misaligned mint mark, it could be worth a pretty penny to the right collector. These errors are hard to come by, so they're highly sought after in the numismatic world. Another error that collectors love is the off-center strike. This happens when the coin is not properly aligned with the die during the minting process, causing part of the design to be missing or shifted. An off-center 1953 penny is a rare find, and depending on how much of the design is missing, it can fetch a premium price. The more dramatic the shift, the more valuable the coin. Imagine a penny where Lincoln's face is partially missing or the date is almost cut off entirely. Such a coin would be a showstopper in any collection. And then, there's the die crack error. This occurs when a crack forms in the die used to strike the coin, leaving a raised line or crack mark on the surface of the coin. While this may seem like a small flaw, die cracks can actually make a coin more valuable because they are an unusual feature that only appears in a small percentage of coins. A 1953 penny with a prominent die crack could be worth more than you think. Now, let's talk about the value of the 1953 Lincoln wheat penny. If you find a coin that's in great condition or has one of these rare errors, you could be looking at something really special. A well-preserved 1953 penny could be worth a decent amount, but if you've got an uncirculated one or one with a unique minting error, the price can go through the roof. And here's the big reveal: if you find a 1953 Lincoln wheat penny with the right combination of rarity and error, it could be worth as much as $60,000. Yes, you heard that right, $60,000 for a single penny. So, what's the takeaway here? Don't just dismiss that 1953 Lincoln Wheat penny sitting in your collection or in your change jar. Take a closer look. Examine the condition. Check the mint mark, and see if there are any signs of a minting error. If you find something special, you could be holding onto a treasure worth thousands of dollars. For all the coin collectors out there, the 1953 Lincoln Wheat penny is definitely one to keep an eye on. Whether you're just starting your collection or you've been in the game for years, this penny is a reminder that even the smallest coin can pack a big punch when it comes to value.